All right, that should do us. In in this, I made a mistake last week. I was wrong. This file is correct, and the endings are different in the nouns than they are on the adjectives. That is the article being an adjective. And so these endings of the article would be the same as the ending on adjectives when we get to adjectives. I think it's lesson 12, just a few lessons away. We introduce adjectives and they'll be in there at that point. So, but there's no mistake here in the book, okay? Sorry about that, I messed up, all right? So the taste and tear ending, let's go back here. We have these various endings. And if it ends in taste, notice the taste ending. Let me get back here and maybe I can make it stand still. This taste ending that we see here that I'm going to highlight, that ending is the ending for an agent noun, an agent noun. Now we would say lawyer, doctor, and the ER ending is one that's an agent noun in English. Lawyer, doctor, banker, baker, and so forth. And so that's your ending for an agent noun. Right here, it says this in Vocabulary Aid, section 42. There's also another ending that's an agent noun. Now these, the other ending is for a different, I think it's for the neuter nouns. But what it is tear, tau, eta, rho. This is tau, eta, sigma. Both of those are agent nouns. They take a verb root, and crino is one of our verbs, found a certain number of times in the New Testament. And as it being an omega verb, it's that's first person singular present indicative active form. And so what we have there is crino is I judge. And so they drop the omega and the new and put the cre, and then they put a taste ending on it, as we see right across here. And that makes it an agent, one who judges. One who judges. And we come down here, let's go down to this next line. And we see right here, Montano is a learner, a disciple. And notice here that the first four letters are your stem. And then we take those first four letters right there, drops one of them, and Mathates, and that becomes the learner, the agent that's doing the learning. And we have baptizo, a dip, a plunge, or immerse, baptizo, I baptize, and then baptistes. Notice the taste ending, tau, eta, sigma, Baptist, better translated one who baptizes. Any questions there? Okay. So now let's go down a little further. There are other agent nouns, and we'll see some of them in our vocabulary down here. And we'll look at them in the vocabulary. So let's take our vocabulary and we'll see several more in the vocabulary. Apo, and that's a preposition, the word from, and then they combine it. They do this a lot in Greek, and the stello is I send. And so they put apo and stello, and that's I send from, or I send out. And that's the verb form of the word is translated apostle. Apostolos is apostle, apostello is the I send. Usually that person is sent with a mission, some kind of a commission, something that he's told that he's to do with authority. Now we have this other word here, And it's a rough breathing over the alpha, hades, hades, hades. We get our word Hades from it, the unseen realm, Hades, hades. And this is a compound word. What it is, sorry, I hit the wrong key, compound word. What it is, it's apo, and the omicron dropped off, and then it's angelo. Angelo. Now remember, the pronunciation, two gammas together, gets an NG sound, up angelo, up angelo. And so this is, I report, I announce, and then apo is from. So it's an announcement, a report coming from someone. So it's I announce or I give a report. Apangelo. Gamma is in NG. Apangelo. Now here's Baptistes. I think is one who baptizes. So baptizer. That's what a Baptist is supposed to be, a baptizer. Ioannes, 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 and that's John, Ioannes. Okay, there's no J in Greek. Ioannes. Question? There's John. Crete. Okay, so we've had that one already up above. That's from Crino. And of course, Crino is I judge. And then the Tase ending is one who judges. One who makes a decision about things, a critical decision. Okay? Kephale. Kephale. Kephale, that's the head. That's the head. All right? Now, if you've studied medicine or anatomy and physiology, you'll find a lot of Greek words are in medicine. A lot of Greek words are. Krateo. 3 syllables. Krateo. Krateo. I seize or I grasp. Take hold of something. Right? Here we have Mathates and a Tase ending. One who teaches or disciples somebody. That is one who is discipled. He is doing that. He's being discipled. Okay. Let me point out here, we had the word Mathates up here, Montano and Mathatuo. They're two different words for discipling. One is the one who's being discipled, and the other is the one who's actually doing the discipling. And Montano is the one who is being taught. So the disciple comes from that word, one who is being taught. Mathatuo, and that would be mu, alpha, theta, epsilon, upsilon, omega. That's, you can find that in your vocabulary in the back of this book. There's vocabulary, English, Greek, and Greek and English vocabulary. Okay. So this is one who is passive or being discipled. All right. Eonios. Raise the accent on the iota. Say it's accented. Eonios. And that's a young man. Now they can change that into and have a form that's in feminine. That would be a young woman. Right. Any questions along the way? Polites. And that's the word citizen. The word politics, police, political, those words come from that basic root. Now this is a preposition. I don't think was on our lesson on prepositions. we didn't have all the prepositions. We had the main ones, the most frequently found ones in our lesson. Pro is toward, and phates, phemi, a verb form of this word, one who says or speaks. And so that is one who speaks toward or forth and from this person, or he speaks forth for another. Of course, the tasing is one who does it. He's a speaker for someone else. That's what a prophet is. And prophets, the true prophets of God would be speakers for God. There are no prophets today living. We have their writings in the book, but there are no prophets living today. No living prophets in the physical realm. They're in the spiritual realm, of course, in paradise. So Thea, and our word sophisticated comes from a similar word in the same family as this word. But this is wisdom. Philosophy is from this word. It's affection or love of wisdom. Okay, Sophia, wisdom. This word, wisdom to do good. There's another word for wisdom that could entail both good and evil. Strategiotase. Now notice the tase ending. Strategiotase, and that's one who soldiers. That is one who does the work of a soldier or a soldier. Right. Pseudo is your noun. Pseudo is your noun, and a verb rather. And pseudo is I lie. Pseudotase is one who makes it a practice to lie. Now, a person who lies one time is sinning. We're not denying that, but telling one lie doesn't make you necessarily a liar, but it does make you a sinner. You've sinned, or that is, you have sinned when you do it. But a pseudotase is one who makes it his action. He's an agent. He does it repeatedly. So there's a difference there in that. You have to study that more fully to see that point. Now, I'm not denying that one lie is a sin. I'm just saying it doesn't make you a liar if you lie one time. It does make you guilty of sin, though. Tello, nice. Tello, nice. And that's a tax gatherer or a publican. Not a Republican, but a publican, a tax collector. Now notice you have several endings with tase, pseudotase, strategiotase, prophetes, polites, mathetes, and pretes, baptistes. We had about five or six words here. I didn't count them. We got to go back again and count them. But basically, we have agents, one who does this. Right? Now, the nair ending also is an agent ending, so this is a different agent ending, not found very much. Any questions? Okay. Did you do the exercises, the translation exercises by any chance? I don't know whether I signed it or not.
I did.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, so let's, why don't we try this, and let's take first sentence, goes all the way down to here, and try to read it if you would, first sentence. Just read it slow, Ioannes. That's how I did it. I try to go through them, each vowel or diphthong gets a syllable. Ioannes. But, I don't know, Bobby, you want to start?
All right. Let's see. Wheel annes ho baptistes esten prophetes.
Well, that's a comma, I think, isn't it? Not a comma or period? No, that's a period, isn't it?
Period. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I divided mine up with the periods.
I thought. All right. So how do you translate it?
I translate John the Immerser is a prophet.
Is a prophet. and the word a is inserted because there's no article.
Right.
And not the prophet, there would have been the article, the word the. Now, you notice here, there's a word that we haven't had, and that's esten. And that's a being verb. Now, a being verb is different than finite verbs in that a being verb takes its object in the nominative case or predicate nominative as its object. So John the Baptist or baptizer is what? He is what?
He
He is
is.
also prophet. Does that make sense? And so John, Baptist, baptizer, and prophet are all in the nominative case. But that's exactly what we see here. Being verbs. I am is a being verb in English. Am is a being verb. And so that's a being verb. And in English, it'll take its object in be the predicate nominative would be in the nominative case, okay, in English.
So if it had a comma after baptidstes, you would put the he is.
Yeah. Now, John the Baptist, he is a prophet. The word it has the pronoun with it. He is a prophet.
Okay.
But we just say is a prophet. We'd leave the he out, although it's there in Greek. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Any other questions? Now they footnoted it down here, and they said, Eston, he is. If you look underneath the number 4 of the footnote, right down just about an inch below it, proper name, tetrarch, ruler, fourth part, and so forth. Okay. Now then, let's take the next one down here. I think it just goes this far right here. So if you would, Benjamin, could you read that for us and translate it for us, please?
Yeah, didaske, peri, tes, basileus. And I said, he teaches about the kingdom.
He teaches concerning the kingdom or about the kingdom. Either way would be permissible. All right. Now, Basileia is kingdom, and I know St. Peter's Basilica. That's considered a kingdom. Now, that's of course Roman Catholic, but it's Latin probably. Most likely it's Latin, but they probably are basically the same word or from the same root word. Latin may have picked it up from Greek. Greek appears to be an older language than Latin. So Latin probably picked this word up from Greek. I'm not certain that's true, but I'm suspecting it is. He teaches concerning or about the kingdom. Any question? I think this was a little bit longer. Okay. Next, we're back to just 2 of you in here right now. So if you put,
You ready? Herodes, ho, te, tra, what? The trar, case, rete, tone, o, ane, dia, horo, dia.
okay.
Hard for me.
Okay, go ahead. Herodes.
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 Oh, tetrarches. Tetrarches. Okay, go ahead. And so that's who? It's footnoted for you.
It's a tetrarch.
And so Herod is a proper name. That's Herod, isn't it? Herod the what?
Herod the tetrarch.
Tetrarch
seizes John through Herodia.
Okay. All right.
I put the D in there, but it shouldn't be in there.
All right. Well, it's there. He's singling out John. There's more than one John in the Bible.
Yeah, the John.
And maybe you'd have to look in the context. I think if this is from the Bible, it would probably, in the context, talk about John the Baptist. And so that would tell you, this is the John we're talking about. That's how you interpret it, rather than John the Apostle or John Mark, who wrote probably the book of Mark, best I can tell. Okay, does that make sense?
Right.
And so Herod the Tetrarch. Now, tetra is 4 in Greek. And so a tetrapod animal is a 4-footed animal. Podos is Greek for feet, foot. Tetrapod, tetros. Our case is ruler. So he's a ruler of a 4th part of some region. So some region has been divided up into 4 parts, and he rules one of those 4 parts. Now we got a verb. He seizes John. What John? The John of the context. That's why the article would probably be there. Through what? You said Herodias? Okay. All right. Any questions?
I said on account of Herodias.
On account of would be legitimate too. All right. DR could be on account of or because of, see. That's certainly possible. Sometimes it's more than one way to translate them. And on account of her would certainly fit. Okay. Any other comments or questions? All right, we're back to Benjamin, if you would, please.
Rhodes, poie, depnon, tois, politais. And I said, Herod makes supper with the citizens.
With the citizens. Is that a period? I guess it is.
Yes, sir.
When I got COVID, my vision is just not what it was before. I have to get new glasses.
That's no problem. We're here to help out.
Looks like a comma to me. That's why I highlighted the rest of it. Okay. Now we have another sentence, and I believe that is a period at the end of that one. Okay. Go ahead.
Et usi te lane to baptistu.
All right.
They asked for the head of the immerser.
He asked for the head of the immerser. What case is baptistu? Baptistu?
Do is genitive.
It's genitive or ablative, and I think it's probably genitive. Okay. All right. It's one of those cases, but almost certainly genitive. All right. He asked for the head.
Wouldn't it be they ask for?
Usi is omaneti usi. They asked for the head.
That's what I have.
They asked for the head of the Baptist, of the baptizer, the one who baptizes. All right. Questions or comments? Thank you, Bobby. Okay, now I think we go down to right there where I stopped. I believe that's a period. Benjamin, could you come back and do the next one?
Sure.
Okay.
Rhodes, apostele, stratioten, agen, ten, kephalen. And I said, Herod sends out a soldier to bring the head.
Okay, to bring the head. All right. Herod sends out. See, now it's apostello. And that's, he sends him out with authority and with the commission, something he's got to do. He's been told to do it, to bring back the head, to bring the head. And of course, you'd have to say what head? Well, in the context, it's the head of John, isn't it? See? So, any questions or comments? All right, what case is Strategiotase? Help me out there.
Accusative.
It's accusative, so it's what's the function of the accusative case? I'm just reviewing you. Make sure you got it struck right away.
Direct object.
Direct object. Most of the time it's the direct object. Now, that direct object, we'll learn later, can become the subject of an infinitive. And that makes it more flexible. The language is flexible. All right, so we'll come to that later time. So kind of file that in the back of your mind. We'll see that later. Okay. Back to Bobby. Bobby, can you do the last sentence?
Hoi mate, wait, hoi mate te eku my throat eku usi ka ap angelo lucito Jesus,
Okay.
something like that.
Hoi matatai. Matatai.
Hoi mate
Okay.
Ku
Ku usi. See, break it up into syllables. Ku usi. Ku usi. Okay. Then you can say it faster. That's the way I learn. Ku usi. Okay.
The disciples heard and reported to Jesus.
Okay. So the usi ending, O-A-S-A, omenete usi, would be what person?
Third person plural.
That's correct. Both those usi endings are a third person plural. Now, here's a situation you run into. You see to Yesu, and that is Jesus, you said, and that form isn't fully declinable. What we mean by that, it has the same form for genitive adjective as it does for dative instrumental locative or another form. So some nouns don't fully decline, right? So this is of course dative instrumental locative form, but it's the same form that we have for genitive. And if you look at the "u" ending, that's a genitive ending for a. Let's just go up and see it. You can see the genitive ending for right here, a genitive adjective "u" ending. Say, I would expect we haven't had masculine here, but we'd expect the different ending for dative instrumental locative. But we don't have that because Jesus, Yesu, which is really Joshua, it is Yeshua in Hebrew. It is really a foreign word. It's brought into the Greek language. So it's not fully declinable. So the genitive adjective ending is the same ending as your dative instrumental locative. Now, does that make sense?
Are there any rules to identify these irregular nouns, or are they just kind of, you have to memorize them?
Well, what you run into is they almost always are foreign languages, not Greek words that were brought in. They're usually names of people.
Gotcha.
Now here, the Bible frequently, and I don't want to say all the time, but frequently it will do this for you. It'll put an article on it when you wouldn't have to have the article normally on a person's name. The article here, the scholars think it's telling you what case that Yesu is. It's not genitive, but because the article, we know it's dative instrumental locative. And so a lot of times the article will be there. I'm not saying every time, but it's going to be there a lot of times. On an indeclinable, it's not fully declinable. It's most of the cases are different. We have a nominative case, we have a genitive, adjective, and dative instrumental locative all the same. Then we have an accusative that's different. Okay, so we have three different declensions forms when we should have four. So we're missing one. Okay, so the dative instrumental locative and the genitive adjective have the same form with the name Jesus, Yesu. Yesu is that form. Okay, any question? So be aware of that. That happens from time to time. So don't get excited. It's usually almost always with the name of a person or a place. That's a foreign name. All right. I don't know if Jerusalem is fully declinable with the Greek word. Did you do text me or yes or no? If you did, we'll go through it. If you didn't, we'll go on to the next lesson.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bobby, did you do text B?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You say yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, let's go through it then, just for practice.
In fact, brother, I was going to ask you if we're going to review the exercises, sometimes we skip the translate part.
Yeah.
And I know for me that tends to be one of the most difficult areas. I don't know if it's the same for you, Bobby.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, if you really want to learn it, what we really need to do is go from English to Greek. Because you learn a language when you first start thinking in it. You have to think in Greek to translate from English to Greek. That's much harder to do. Okay, so
Yeah, I was just going to say then if you know, if we're going to review some of the exercises in class, I would really appreciate if we could do some of the translate just so we can get some of the more difficult material in there.
yeah. So you mean number 3, Roman numeral translate from English to Greek?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why don't we assign that for next week? All right. We'll come back to this lesson and do it. All right. Okay.
Is that all right with you, Bobby?
That's just fine. I've already done it. So
Yeah, I've done it as well. So, I was just saying if we're going to review the exercises in class, that those are the ones I struggle with the most, the translate. So having some review in class would really help.
I try to do all the exercises for that purpose.
Yeah.
Well, when I went to Russia as an exchange professor, I didn't really begin to learn my Russian well until I got into having to think in Russian. Whenever I started thinking in Russian, then everything began to click. All right. So I think you have to think in terms of it when you go from English to Russian or English to Greek or whatever language you're going from. All right, let's do text B. We may not get through with it, but if so, we'll just do the translate next week if we don't get to it, okay? Fair enough?
Okay.
We'll do Roman numeral 3 next week and then go on to the next lesson. Okay, whole bit back. I don't know who was last. Bobby, were you last?
I was last.
Okay. Pick the first 2 words for us, if you would, there, and read them and then tell us what it means. Okay?
Okay.
Good.
Ho baptistes and the baptizer.
Baptizer. The one baptizing. See, the baptizer is real good. And then we have 3 words here. Good, Bobby.
Now, which were, oh, wait just a minute. Let me get, I don't, okay, I got you. Awanes ho baptiste. Baptistes.
Eoanes.
Eoanes.
Eoanes. 3 syllables. Eoan. Got 4 syllables in that word. Eoanes. 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 And the 2 news don't get pronounced in the same syllable. Remember that? Ioannes. Ioannes. Ioannes ho baptistes. Go ahead. So that's what. Translate for us.
You talk to me?
Yes, please.
Oh, H-A-T-A-N K Lane Uano to Baptistu.
He's wanted you to translate that.
Oh, John D. Mercer.
John D. Mercer. Okay.
Yeah, John D. Mercer. I'm sorry.
John D. Mercer, John the Baptist. I like a Mercer. You know, the Baptists came out with a translation around the Civil War time, around the 1860s, and it translated John D. Mercer. And it's baptized was translated immerse. And I've got a copy of it. And guess what? They put it out, and then they said, "Ooh, we took our name out of the Bible. We're baptized. Baptist wasn't in the Bible anymore. Immerser was there." I've got a copy of it. Got an electronic copy of it. If you want it, I'll send it to you.
I like to have one.
Yeah, for sure.
Since I used to be one of those.
I scanned it. In, so it may have a problem or two, but it's pretty much what it was. Okay, let's try the next one. I think that will be back to, let's see. Bobby, you did last, didn't you? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Aite, Tain, Kephalein, Ioannou, Ioannou tu Baptistou.
Okay.
And I said, he asks for the head of John the Baptizer.
He asked for the head of John the Baptizer. I just almost get tears in my eyes thinking about John. Okay. Line 2. Back to Bobby.
You want me to just do that first part, all of it?
Well, you can. Yeah, well, why don't you just go down? Let me highlight what you go down to. This is.
Okay.
But,
You want to just do like one line each?
well, you can. If you want to just do one line, go ahead. The whole thing. Go ahead, Bobby.
A, hora, tes, horas. A, Sophia, tes, Sophias. A, doxe, tes, doxes. O, you think about this. Pseudotes,
Sustes.
sustes, yeah.
Two syllables.
Two, susstone.
Sus2.
Sustu.
Sus2.
Sustu, yeah, that's no end.
Okay. Got it. What's that?
All right, it says the hour of the hour, the wise of the wise, the glory of the glory, the liar of the lie.
Okay, the liar of the liar.
Yeah, I like that. You say liar, the liar of the liar?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, I put the liar of the lie.
See, the first two words are nominative case, second are genitive.
Okay.
And nominative, go back to genitive, nominative, back to genitive form is what it is. Okay?
Okay.
It's comparing, that's genitive ablative form, but it's probably genitive. Okay? Right. Let's see. Oh, if I can get this highlighted. A shorter one there, if you would. Okay, go ahead.
Ho Strategiotase, Aite, Tain, Makairon, Tes, Aletheas. And I said, the soldier asks for the sword of the truth.
Okay? All right. Now, there are two words for sword in Greek, but this is the short sword that the Roman soldiers used. Roman soldiers functioned as a team of a quaternion, 4 soldiers together. If they got in a battle or were surrounded, they would put their backs to one another and their shields out, and they would defend in all 4 directions with that short sword that they used, but it was very effective. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm sorry I got off into that. Probably wasn't useful to you, but they had to cover each other's back.
I appreciate those facts. Thank you, brother.
Yep.
If one got killed, 3 of them would go back to back. And if 2 got killed, 2 of them would stand back to back, guarding each other. Okay. The sword of truth. I'm sorry. Number 4. I guess we're back to Bobby.
Hoi me, hoi ma, hoi me theta ex use te Sophiang ka kerang in tais cardiais.
Okay. Alpha is an A sound and Eta is an A sound. Okay. Karan in tais cardiais. Okay. Okay. Okay, so ho mathatai is what? Hoi mathatai.
The disciples.
Okay. They did what?
Disciples having the wisdom and grace in their hearts.
Okay. The disciples have wisdom and grace in their hearts. Okay. Any questions? They have the wisdom and grace. Now notice the article is not with grace. So if this were in a text, in the context, you might see the word wisdom is the wisdom, right?
Grace and joy are the same word. Is that right?
Yeah, it could be joy or favor, but
Okay.
charis is grace, charan is joy. Okay. Yeah. But they're pretty close to the same words.
Joy.
Getting almost close to time for the class to be over. All right. I think I'm gonna have to go ring the bell. Judy had a medical procedure today. He usually takes care of that for us, but he's not here.
I thought I heard a bell.
It wasn't the bell that we normally ring, however. Why don't we break here and start? I think it's 15. No, let's do this. Let's see if we can finish these 3 lines, then we'll call it. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Benjamin, I think you're next. I think.
Yes, sir.
I kind of got lost. Okay, but I think Bobby read last. Okay, go ahead, Benjamin, please.
Hoi prophetai apangelusi tas epangelias tois politais. And I said, the prophets announce the promises to the citizens.
Okay, to the citizens. That's probably the correct rendering. Toys, boy, politais could be by means of the citizens, but that doesn't make it much sense, okay? To the citizens makes more sense. By means of would be an instrumental case, right? I think, and it could be a locative case, the form could be, but in the citizens, again, that doesn't make sense. To the citizens is the only one that really makes very much sense. So I think you got it right. All right, any questions? I was going through that not to half solve what you did, but to let everybody see that you have options, and the reason I chose the option of agreeing with you, okay? All right.
Okay.
I think Bobby is next. Back to Bobby, I think.
Acrites apostole ton ni aning ace hedain. The judge sent the young man to Hades.
All right. The judge, he sent, literally, but judge sent, is that would be good English translation. The young man into or unto Hades. Hades, Hadain.
Okay.
All right, very good. Let's do number 7, then we'll break. I think we're back to Benjamin.
Okay. Ho telones metanoe hoste lambanen tas epangelias. And I said, the publican repents in order to receive the promises.
Okay. Could be in order to, it could be so that receives the promises. Lambano is a self-prompted taking. So he's doing it by his repentance. He's trying to take the promises, to receive them. To take or receive the promises. Lambano can be take or receive. Okay. Any questions there? Let's start with translate. We'll go from English to Greek. You've already done that. Then we'll go right into the next lesson. So as we'll finish that next week. Appreciate your attendance.
Thanks,
Thank you,
sir.
brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Let me get out of this and stop the recording.